Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for analyzing and identifying digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Okay, so what started off as what I thought would be a more slow week has definitely picked up the pace. So glad to see that. Obviously, everybody is talking in the public markets about, or in the traditional markets about the debt ceiling and whether that will get raised. We have basically 2 weeks until that deadline happens or less. So in the meantime, let's talk about all the fun developments in crypto. So this week, we're going to start off by talking about Axie Infinity. So Axie Infinity, they're the first play to earn blockchain-based game. They announced this morning that an iOS version of the game is now going to be available in select countries across Latin America and Asia. So this is actually really notable because if anybody remembers a few months ago, the App Store put out a lot of restrictions on apps that have like NFTs in game, or any kind of basically any NFT related thing in your game or anything token related got really expensive. So the price for these apps ended up going up quite a bit, or the cost of these apps was like 30% or something that Apple was levying. And so a lot of projects were kind of having to scale back or think about what their mobile plan would be based on this. So Axie announced that they are going to be doing that they're going to be allowing externally purchased NFTs within the App Store. So that means for your current players of Axie that already own the 3 Axies that they need to start playing the game, they can just go ahead and use those in the App Store. There's not going to be an issue with that, which I guess there was an issue before. So they believe this is also the first time that Apple has allowed this particular exception for a crypto game. So definitely big news. So at the peak though of 2021, or at the end of 2021 at Axie's peak, Axie had over 2.5 million DAUs. And the company is no longer reporting those DAUs after they fell to about 250,000 a day last summer. So we aren't really clear on like kind of what the actual usage is. One would hope that the mobile game will help with kind of user retention and usage on the app. So really exciting. This development just was released this morning, like I said, and Axie is up 4.9% on the week. All right, next up we have KAVA. So KAVA is a Cosmos-based EVM layer 1 chain. So they rose 16% in anticipation of the KAVA 13 upgrade, which is going to improve developer and user experience on the chain. So the upgrade generally improves the execution capability of the chain and sets up the stage for data sharding to improve scalability even further. Additionally, a proposal to sunset all KAVA emissions at the end of the year was well received and seems set to pass governance at the end of the week. So all really positive developments for KAVA. As a result, the project is up 7.5% this week. All right, next we have Gains Network. So decentralized derivative platform Gains Network announced earlier this week that it would shift its fee model from a funding rate model to a borrowing model. So the team basically explained in a blog post that the funding rate model was inefficient at balancing longs and shorts on their platform G-Trade. And they made the decision to move the borrowing model as a need in order to basically provide higher max funding rate, which would have resulted in a higher take rate that would hurt traders. So the borrowing model kind of fixes this, allowing for more open interest with the same TVL. Gains Network currently boasts over 58 million in TVL, which is up about 3x from the beginning of 2023. So Gains Network is up about 11% this week. All right, last up, we have Lido. So decentralized liquid staking provider Lido activated their V2 upgrade on Monday, allowing for Ethereum withdrawals and a new staking router. So the upgrade lagged Ethereum's Chapella or Shanghai upgrade, which was last month, due to necessary security audits and has been highly anticipated as a result. So now with withdrawals enabled, larger staked ETH holders are able to exit, whereas before they were prevented based on staked ETH liquidity. So specifically, and so some of those large holders, including now bankrupt crypto lender Celsius, they had about 480,000 ETH staked with Lido. So as of yesterday, they were able to start unwinding their stake, and they have submitted a request to redeem the entire amount. So far, despite the, so if you actually do take a look, Lido's TVL has taken a loss of about 1 billion of its 13 billion TVL just from seeing that amount of staked ETH leave. It makes sense that Celsius obviously had to unstake because they have a lot of liabilities to their customers and are in bankruptcy proceedings. So despite this negative event, with the loss of TVL and the fact that people are now liquid, Lido's actually really outperformed the market. It's up 34% this week. So very interesting to see. We will see if deposits onto ETH2 continue via Lido and other staking providers in the future. And that's all I got for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.